Great. Okay, so in case we haven't met before, my name is Arnice. I am the person behind Rediscover Travel, and today is just a very relaxed 15-minute walkthrough of a few of the highlights of the Experience Portugal tour. It is a 10-day tour, so there are far too many experiences to cover today, but this is just to touch on the highlights and then to let you know how you can come across more information. And I will also just touch on why this tour is different from anything else that you might see out there. So right now, I'm just going to share my screen. So the Experience Portugal tour is a 10-night tour, and it has 4 nights in Lisbon, 2 nights in Coimbra, and 4 nights in Porto. Just because of the geography of Portugal, it makes it very easy to kind of settle into a couple of spots so that we're not rushing around. So I've set this tour up more like a couple of mini kind of hub and spokes. So we'll stay in Lisbon for a while and we'll kind of branch out to do some tours. 2 nights in Coimbra, but then 4 nights in Porto to do the same thing again, kind of branch out and then come back home again. The first day tour that we're going to have once we're there is the Sintra Coastline Tour. Our first stop along that tour is in Cascais, which is also Guincho Beach. It's a very picturesque fishing village, and we'll have some free time to wander around there to check out the shops and cafes and gardens. And then we will continue down along the coastline. We'll drive the scenic route along Boca do Inferno, and we will arrive in the magical town of Sintra. Sintra is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is known for its palaces, farms, and more gardens. The highlight of Sintra is the Peine Palace. It's located on the top of the Sintra Mountains, and we'll be doing a tour through the palace, and it's also just a magnificent viewpoint to look down on Portugal as far as you can see in the distance. Another day tour, and I'm choosing day tours. Not every day will be full day tours. We are going to have half day tours with lots of free time in the afternoon. The Douro Valley, for anyone who is not familiar with the Douro Valley, it is one of the most beautiful wine regions in the world. So we will be learning the winemaking process, visiting a couple of different wineries. We'll be doing port and wine tasting. We'll have lunch in a traditional vineyard, and we'll also have a Douro River cruise in the village of Pinois. And for anyone who is not a wine drinker, this is still going to be a magnificent day. The view, the river, the mountains, the valleys, they're all just absolutely beautiful, and learning about the process, even if you're not a wine drinker. And I just focus on this a little bit because myself, I am not a wine drinker, but I am still very much looking forward to this day. And throughout the course of our trip, we are going to have lots of opportunity to try the different foods of Portugal. I don't know about trying the octopus. I would have said, before I started researching this tour, I would have said, no, I don't think so. But apparently they boil it and then they roast it with garlic and herbs and lots of olive oil. And looking at this photo, it actually looks pretty delicious. So yeah, and we'll be trying different pastries. And I lived in Mexico for a while, so chorizo is something very popular there. And they roast it a very particular way in Portugal that is very different. So I'm looking forward to giving that a try and just seeing how it differs. And of course, again, as I mentioned, all the pastries, they all look so wonderful. This is my favorite. This is the one that personally myself I am looking most forward to is the traditional Fado dinner show. Traditional Fado performances, music touches me. And I think that a lot of people can agree with that. And so I'm really looking forward to this. And we'll also be having a lot of authentic Portuguese dishes for our meal. And the restaurant itself is a very intimate setting. So this is going to be a favorite for me. If anyone has a chance to go over the itinerary, maybe you could share back with me which piece jumps out at you. Yeah. And the Livraria Lelo, which Livraria means bookstore in Portugal. Lelo is the name of the family. This is one of the oldest and most beautiful bookstores in the world. And a little piece of interesting information is that the family opened this bookstore in 1906 and they only just sold it in 2015. They sold off the majority of their shares to a corporation or not sure if it was a corporation, but a company, and kept a small number of shares that they only just sold off in 2023. So this has been a long-standing family business. And as you can see from the photograph, it's just absolutely amazing with its carved staircases. There's an impressive stained glass ceiling, which you can kind of see a little bit in this photograph, but I think it definitely doesn't do it justice. But this is a true monument to literature, and it is a full running bookstore. So you can purchase books while you are there as well. So, why is this tour different? This tour is different because there's less moving around. As I mentioned earlier, it can be exhausting when you're moving from one place to another every night. And I wanted us, after a day of whether it's a full day tour or whether it's free time in the afternoon, I wanted us to be able to come back and have dinner and just relax and not be constantly packing and unpacking our bags. So I reduced the number of movements between hotels. Another reason is that it is private. It's only going to be us traveling together, the Rediscover Travel community. So it's only a group of widows and widowers, all like-minded travelers traveling together. And it's custom built by me. One of my favorite suppliers that I use when I do group tours is G Adventures. I have a couple of different ones, but G Adventures I really like, and they are Canadian. So I've chose them for the core of the journey. So it's kind of the one I chose was like a bare bones tour. And that way I was able to go in and create experiences for the beginning of the trip. I've created add-on experiences at the end, and I've sprinkled a few in the middle to turn this into a full 10-night tour. So you won't find this anywhere else. And it's just for me, it's just a more robust tour. We're going to be flying well, if you're taking a nonstop flight, you're going to be flying for 7.5 hours longer if you have a connection. So I just felt like I wanted to give the most robust tour that I could while we were there. And of course, I'm hosting the tour. So it's that extra layer of support, whether you just have a simple question or whether something unexpected happens. I'm there for that support. There will always be a local guide attached to us at any point, whether it is our G Adventures guide or or one of the day tours around that I've organized. So if anything happens, but if anyone needs my sole attention, the tour doesn't stop. The tour will, I can help that person out, and the tour it just continues on with the local guide who is running that particular day's tour, or if it's one of the G guides. So yeah, so that's just another reason why it's different, having the extra support. And yeah. So I hope you decide to join me in Portugal. The tour itself runs September 30th to October the 10th. Although you will be traveling on the 20th, unless you're already in Portugal or somewhere close by, you'll be traveling on the 29th, because most of the flights there are overnight flights. And I have included early check-in on arrival. So if your plane is landing at 9 o'clock in the morning, I think there's even a flight that lands at, I think, 6 a.m. And things may change between now and then with the airlines, but you won't be waiting until 3 o'clock in the afternoon to check into your hotel. We'll be able to get you straight to your hotel. You'll have your rooms ready. And if you need to rest, great. If not, then you have a day ahead of you. I did not plan anything other than everyone getting together for dinner for that day, because some people need to rest with an overnight flight. So that is something that on the day of, we will just kind of wing it there when we're all there, and we'll decide if there are enough people that want to get together. We can go out as a group, or we can just take the day to ourselves to acclimate from our overnight flight. The cost of the tour is $4,700 for shared occupancy. I do have my room share program happening. So if you know someone and you want to be able to share with them, not a problem. You just let me know that Jane Smith and I want to share our room together. Not a problem. If you are solo, then you let me know. And as solo bookings come in, I just pair people up that way. Not through any type of matching system. I just pair you up as you come in. There is limited single rooms available. There is definitely one left. I think there might be two left. I have to check on that. So if that's something that you're interested in, you should probably jump right on that, because they do go very quickly. And for the people that came today, hi, Christine. For the people who came today, I will be sending out an email with a discount code for you to use. And what is included: all accommodation, the early check-in on arrival, the 13 meals. And I also added one food tour down there, because the food tours in the morning, it's not really considered a meal, but we likely won't want to have lunch after our food tour. All of the excursions, except for Coimbra. Coimbra has the university, and there are a number of small things that you can do there. And because they are of such a varied interest, I thought it was better to have that day where people could just choose what they wanted to do. They're small excursions, $20 excursions. So you can kind of put that day together as you choose. But if the group all would like to do the same thing, then we can do it as a group. And of course, we have English speaking guides, and I'm including the transfers from the airport to the hotel back to the airport. I am asking everyone, please do not book your flight until without speaking to me first, or until I can see where everyone is coming from, because then what I will do is I will suggest flights for you to book, so that we come in for our transfers, so that I'm just organizing a couple of group transfers as opposed to all sorts of individual transfers. Now, if you choose to come in a day prior, stay a day late, then transfer will not be included. It's just on the day of travel. And if you need help with booking your airfare, I can certainly do that. Not a problem. Some people like to book their own, so that's just something that we can talk about later. Not included: your international airfare, tips and gratuities, your travel insurance, which I do require, and any meals that are not listed on the itinerary. And this is how you can reach me. If you want to grab your phone, just take a snapshot of that, or you've probably already come through to me through Widowed Friends or my Rediscover Travel page or my Facebook group. So you probably already know how. But you can find the itinerary for this trip on the website. So if you go to the Rediscover Travel webpage, you will see all of the different tours that are available. Click on this one. There's more information. And as you scroll down, you will see a button that you can click to get the itinerary. And very detailed, day by day, all the important information in there. And there's also a book now button. So if you do decide that you would like to book this tour, you can do it through that button. You can email me, you can message me, you can phone me. I love phone calls. I love when people call or when they message and say, can we set up a phone call? Because I just really like to get to know the people that I'm traveling with. So that's another way that you can reach out to me if you would like to join this tour. And yeah, I think that's it. And I am a little over my 15 minutes. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask? We've got a couple of extra minutes. We can do that.
The only question I have is there a specific number of people that are on the group? Like, is it limited to a certain number, or does it?
Yes, the max number that I have for this tour is 14.
Okay.
Yes, and that includes myself as well. So 13 people in, and that just kind of, because of the number of single rooms, works out to an odd number. But okay. Yes.
Arnie,
Okay. Yes.
When I signed up for this, there was still a possibility of an Azores adding on to this?
Yes. There is. I have a supplier who has put together a package. Did I not send you the information on that? Okay, I'm sorry. I will send you the information on that. She's put together a package for me, and the arrangements that I made with her was that I would wait until we were either fully booked or my booking deadline came, so that I knew how many people. So what she has created for me is something that we can do as a group if we have 4 or more people, or there is the option if there is just 1 or 2 people that are interested in the extension, that she can do that as well. So she's created 2 different pieces for me, and I just told her that I would reach back out to her once I'm fully booked or a booking deadline and I know how many people, and then we'll kind of move forward with that piece. But yeah, sorry, I thought I sent that to you, Christine. So I will get that out to you this afternoon for sure. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much for attending today. I really appreciate it. And I am going to be posting this up on my YouTube channel, something I just recently started. My son-in-law told me I need to have one. I'm not very technical when it comes to that kind of stuff, but I now kind of understand that, yeah, that's why I can record stuff and put it up and other people can listen to it in their own time. So, so this will be up there, and I'm just letting you know since you are a participant. So, yeah, thank you everyone for coming. And if you have any questions, please reach out.